Hey guys, Minimal Escapes here, and today I'm going to be making a mini aquarium for some snails. This is going to be 1 gallon about, and my idea for this one is to try to mimic like a forest floor-esque kind of, and hopefully it'll look pretty good. So to start, I'm just going to lay down some aqua soil. This is going to be the only substrate I use in the tank. I'm gonna try to go for like a dirted tank, basically. Keep it very, simple. I'm just gonna kind of mount it up towards the back. I'm gonna need a little bit more. I'm gonna try to put maybe 1/2 inch everywhere. Especially on a tank like this, what's really important is to have enough substrate that it filters out, because I'm not going to be putting a filter on this tank. So, slightly on the thicker side than what you would think for something this small is going to help loads with keeping the water crystal clear, as well as keeping the inhabitants healthy. It's pretty simple, really. Now that I've got the substrate down, I'll just work in the hardscape. I've got some just rounded river rock here that I'm going to be using, and some spiderwood that I've got in a bucket here. And once I get a layout that I like, I'll stick with that and probably start gluing. Now that I'm done scaping, it was a pretty easy layout to think of. I already had pretty much an idea of what I wanted. I've got a little kind of bridge going with those branches to try to create like a, 2 focal points on the side to draw you closer. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not too worried about these floating, but I'm still gonna try to maybe glue them if I can, to hopefully not have that happen at all. So here we go. There's one. There's 2. Just push it in. I don't think I've got too much more gluing, honestly. I'm just trying to get the key points, stop anything from floating away on me, because that would just set me back. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna let this dry for an hour or 2, make sure it's real firm, and then I'm gonna come back and plant. And as far as plants go, I want some real easy ones that are kind of simple, that don't require too much lighting either. So maybe like a small crypt, or I'm probably gonna put some moss in here, and then some epiphytes like Boos and Anubias. Alright, it's been about an hour now, so I'm just gonna fill up like the bottom half-ish. I just have this little jug here of water. I'm just gonna fill up whatever I can, so pretty much the bottom like half, just to get some water into the aqua soil so that I can plant the foreground plants and maybe some of the epiphytes. And this will just make that a whole lot easier. I also want to see how dirty this turns out, to know if I should wait a minute or not for it to clear. I use my hand to try and try and keep the water from hitting directly into the aqua soil or substrate, whatever it may be, sand, aqua soil, whatever, just to try to keep it still. But it does not look like it worked too well this time. So I just want to leave it for maybe 20 minutes, maybe an hour, really, just depending, and that'll help me just to see where to plant. If it's not, then I'm just gonna plant with it mucky. Alright, it's been about an hour, and I've fully filled up the tank. It's looking nice and clear. So I'm gonna plant. I'm gonna go some shorter plants in the front, either some Liliopsis or some dwarf hairgrass in the front there. I'm gonna put some Anubias and Bucephalandra on the wood and other hardscape. And then I'll probably put some taller stems in the back like Rotella and, what do I have? Maybe some Val, maybe some Crips, just really whatever I find looks good and kind of matches the theme. Alright, now I'm finished planting. I think it looks pretty good. Once it is grown in, you should be able to kind of loop over, create that foresty feel. But right now I'm just adding in some Salvinia. I don't know if you could see it or not, but one of the plants had a lot of duckweed on it, so now there's some duckweed on top, and there's a little bit of Salvinia up top, as you can see. So I am just going to leave it for a day, and then we'll come back tomorrow, and it should be nice and clear. I don't know if you can see there's a little fogginess to it. I'll just let that clear, come back tomorrow, and it should look great.